Hindustan Times. Apart from that, he is also a motivational speaker, mentor, advisor, and visiting professor. He is the man with uncountable skills. He has inspired countless Indian youngsters to live life joyfully, positively, and in multi dimensions.
Before we get started, I would like to talk briefly about Swachhta Jagran Samiti. The SJS is headed by Mr. A.K. Chaudhary and Ms. Harshita Saloni. She is the managing director and is also a Karambir Chakra awardee. It was started in 2016. It is a non-profit organization based in Gurugram in Delhi, which has two dimensions, as its name implies: cleanliness and awakening. Basically, SJS has two goals. First, preserve ecosystems and support sustainable development actions. Secondly, spread awareness and awaken the nation. Therefore, we believe that the aim of the interaction session is to learn from the vast experience and achievement of Mr. Atray, not only in career but also about his life. Let's begin with much honor. Let's welcome Mr. Vivek Atray. This is a great pleasure for us to host you, sir. With your due permission, sir, I would request Anusha to begin the session.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sijin. Sir, we all know that being IAS is very prestigious. The person in whose front you are standing has cleared world's one of the top exams is another level experience. It's really grateful for me that, and I'm really honorable that I got the honor, that I got the opportunity to be in front of you. So now the first question is, sir, after having achieved a national level title in cricket as a youngster, which is in itself a really big achievement, and also working for the MNCs, how did you decide to become an IAS officer?
Yeah, it's a good question. I'm very happy to be here on your show, and it's a very good organization, the Swachhta organization. Thank you for inviting me. So, my first response is that I started out by wanting to be a cricketer, and I was an under 19 cricketer of the Sikh and Naidu tournament, which is the national level tournament. I represented All India Central Schools in that twice, and I was pretty much wanting to play at a higher level and play for India. Then my father told me that you better go to engineering because engineering will give you a good base for your career. And I went for engineering to NIT Kurukshetra. I'm an electronics engineer from there. And I started playing less cricket, and obviously cricket took a backseat. And then I joined the Haryana Civil Service after my father passed away. And unfortunately, he was in service at that time. But I served Haryana Civil Service for long years. And after that, I got promoted to the IAS. So I came through the HCS to the IAS. I did not come through the UPSC exam. Yet I was an IAS officer for several years after that. And I resigned as after being Director Industries and Deputy Commissioner. I decided that I want to be a motivational speaker and I want to motivate the youth and inspire the youth. So now I travel across India or I speak on webinars all over India and abroad. And I am pretty much happy to be doing this. So that is the journey. And I must say that being an IAS officer was a great opportunity for me to be able to inspire the youth to do a lot of work which will help them. But I totally believe that if I am able to help the society as a motivational speaker, as an author, as a advisor and a mentor, then I think I'm doing even more. So I was able to do that because I resigned, and it is difficult to work like this in the system. But I had a great career in the IAS and HCS, and I'm looking forward to this new phase of my life where I've been for 3 years now, going ahead. So back to you.
Wow, sir, that was really impressive. So now we would like to hear more about your life journey. Like, what all challenges did you face along the way?
Yeah, so I faced the first challenge I faced was that as I said, I wanted to be a sportsman. I wanted to be a cricketer. I didn't want to do a routine job. I wanted to play at the higher level. And when I was a youngster playing cricket, I was good, but I wasn't great. I knew that I'm not excellent. So I wanted to be excellent, and my father told me that better study because it is important for you to achieve that stability in life. And I realized that cricket cannot give me that, long-term survival in my career or long-term comfort and happiness. So I thought that better to study and better to get into this kind of mode. And I was right, and he was right. And that kind of decision made me absolutely more comfortable in life. So the struggle was to get over that challenge of wanting to be a cricketer with passion, with all my involvement, and then getting into something just totally different. But after engineering, as I said, my father passed away, and I came to civil services and I became an officer. I found it easy because I was made for this. I was very comfortable in the service, and my public dealing skills were good, speaking skills, communication, understanding different kind of people. So I didn't really struggle after that. And the next struggle came obviously when I had to decide to resign. I wanted to resign. I was very keen, but then obviously family, friends, colleagues, they all stop you and they say, no, no, don't resign. That was also a struggle to convince them, to make them confident. Now, today, youngsters ask me, sir, you resigned and now you are helping us or advising us about the UPSC exam. I'm a mentor to an academy called Vivek IAS Career Academy also. I am a mentor to many other IAS academies, UPSC academies. So I tell them that I served for 25 years. You also serve for 25 years. Then we'll talk about any other career. But you try your best to get into this great service of IAS or IPS or whatever you can. And that is my feeling. And I think struggles can be overcome with determination and willpower and faith in God and faith in yourself. That is the way.
Yes, sir. It was very right. Decision making is majorly a very crucial thing which we all should take do wisely in our lives. So, sir, next question for you is that we all know that it requires a lot of patience, hard work, determination, and a lot more while preparing for the UPSC CSC exam. And during the preparation time, we face a lot of hurdles like emotional breakdowns and family pressure to settle soon. Can you guide us like how should we stay dedicated and motivated throughout the journey?
Yeah, I know that a lot of UPSC aspirants watch my sessions and talks, and I have 40 lakh views on my YouTube videos because people keep on wondering how an IAS officer can resign, and they also want to know how to get into the service. So, in a nutshell, I'll tell you: don't spend more than 3 years preparing for the UPSC exam. 1 year you will do reasonably well. The second year may be your best chance, or your third chance may be your best. Don't go in for a 6 year plan. It's not going to be worth it. And I also feel that more than 1 year, you should not sit idle and do nothing else. You should do some part time job, teaching job, training job, or research job, something while preparing for the service. It might be difficult, but you must do it. Because if you spend more than 1 year without a job, your family and you all, everybody starts getting tense. And if you don't clear it, then you will feel bad. So if you have something in hand, you don't feel so bad. The third point is that your GK and your communication and your understanding of life and country and economy has to be superior. And you have to work hard on your general awareness. You have to work hard on your writing and oral skills. You have to work hard on your personality. And I have given in many talks, many tips. So you must become a confident person, an all-rounder, a person who has empathy for others. All these qualities and skills and strategy will make you a better candidate for the civil service.
Yes, thank you so much, sir, for inspiring our young minds. This inspiration is really needed in this crucial phase of time. So, the next question is, sir, in the period of revolutions, daily we hear about developments and advancements in every branch of career. And this has been a very big reason for today's youth to be confused when it comes to choosing the right career for them. So, what is your take on this? How, as students, should we decide what to do and how should we stick to it?
Yes, I think that's a very good question because it is very, very important for us to be clear about what we are doing. And it is very, very important for us to be sure of what our career is. Sometimes our passion is different from what we do. So, firstly, we have to ask ourselves, what is my passion? What is it that I really want? So, if I love my work, then it is said there is a saying that if you love your work, you won't have to work even one day of your life because you love it. So, if somebody is playing cricket for a living, he loves cricket, then obviously he doesn't have a problem with his career. If somebody loves books and is a librarian, that person will never have a tough time. If somebody is very fond of engineering and technology and gets into IT or something like this, it's even greater. But to find a job that has nothing to do with your passion, it becomes difficult to sustain. So, if you are a chartered accountant and you love music, how can you survive? Every day your heart is singing to music, and you are number crunching, getting into formulas and spreadsheets and taxes and interest and whatever. So, my point to you is that one should search in one's heart what really inspires. If your passion is something like poetry and music and art, which doesn't give a career, and it is difficult to sustain that kind of passion as a vocation, then get into another job and but sustain your passion also. So be an all-rounder. If you are a singer and you are also an IAS officer, it's okay. Do your IAS job and also be singing at the same time. But I know of an IAS officer who resigned and he's become a professional singer. So there are so many things in life that we have in our hearts and mind. It is better that we follow the heart and not, the basically only the logic. Because if we get our first choice or second choice or even third choice that we want, then you know in your heart that you are happy and you will have a good career.
Yes, sir, you are very correct. Following the passion is very important in our life. So we should always like choose between our career and our passion wisely. So, sir, our appetite for accomplishments has never diminished. So, is there a morning ritual that you follow and would like to share with our audience?
Yes, I would like to share the morning ritual. It is a ritual where I am always trying to do some yoga and meditation. And I think meditation has added a lot of value to my life. I become a much more balanced person, more calm person ever since I started meditating. I've also become a very, energetic kind of person because meditation also gives you energy. And let me tell you for your information, this is my third session of the day. And I will have another call after a while. So the life becomes, easier to handle. You have lots of work, lots of activities, and you can handle it if your morning starts well. So I will not watch any TV news. I don't want to get into negativity and cynicism. Even at night, I don't do that. I just read whatever news I want on the phone or on the computer, and I do read some newspapers. I'm mostly interested in sports. I'm not interested in crime or politics, and I don't get into those kinds of things. I also am interested in economy and technology and things like that. So I will read, I will do meditation, and I'll do yoga, and I'll walk, and I'll try to remain fit. So my morning is like that, and then you should have a good breakfast, and that will help you to handle the whole day. Many a time I ask my audiences when I hold workshops online or in the hall, how much time did you take on breakfast today? And if you ask any youngster who is going to college or office, they will take 1 minute or 2 minutes, or they're eating their paratha on the way in the car. So it doesn't make sense. And it is better for them to stay calm while having their meals. So breakfast is to be heavy, lunch is to be lighter, and dinner has to be light. That is the fitness mantra. And I follow it and I remain reasonably fit. because of that.
Yes, yoga and meditation are really important in our life. So I hope our audience will really learn something from you. Now, I would like Sijin to continue this discussion. I request audience members and participants to leave their questions in the comment section or on the WhatsApp group, and we will take them after all the session.
Thank you, Tanusha. The Tanusha is correct. You possess countless skills. Even after you retired, you are still using all your skills that you have acquired over the years to achieve the success. I really appreciate that. My question to you, sir, is in our country, people have this laid back attitude, and this is reflected in our system of working too. The decision making process and its implementation is very slow, and as compared to developed countries. So, what could be the possible reason for it apart from the technological aspects?
You see, India is a country of diversity. It's a country which is huge. Even in one district, you will have a very diverse population. You will have people who are educated and uneducated. You'll have people who are well off and poor. You'll have people who are from one caste or the other. You'll have one people who are narrow-minded and progressive in the same district and the same area. So every part of India is complex and complicated that way. Understanding the society is not easy. And decision making suffers because there are so many pulls and pressures. Also, the system that the British left us and India has adopted for the last so many decades is not really amenable to quick decision making. There are many files, many procedures, many permissions, many hierarchies involved. So I think it is necessary to streamline things, make it user friendly or citizen friendly. Many decisions can be taken quicker if efforts are made. I'll give you two or three small examples from my career. So I was DC of Panchkula, and I went to the counters to see how people are standing in the government offices and waiting for their turn. And I found that the windows were open for 4 hours per day. That is from 9 o'clock to 1 o'clock or 9:30 to 1:30. And the rest of the day, the staff would be compiling the data, etc. So any services like driving license or registration or birth certificate would be done only for 4 hours. And Friday, they would take a break and do some administrative work, internal work. So roughly, there were only 16 hours per week, 4 days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, multiplied by 4. 16 hours per week, the public dealing used to take place. So I said, this is not enough. There is so much rush. People have to come back again and again. We increased that 4 hours to 6 hours. And we increased Friday also. We added Friday. So it went up to 30 hours. Instead of 16 hours, now it was 5 multiplied by 6. 30 hours of dealing became easier. Queues were smaller. The rush was less, and we were able to handle it also. The staff had to work a little harder, so that was better for them. Another example I'll give you is that in Chandigarh, where I was the director of technical education and culture and museum, and not museum, but public relations. At that time, a visit to the capital complex of Chandigarh, which is a heritage area, required the permission of the government. And many architects wanted to come from across the world to see the architecture of Le Corbusier. Le Corbusier is the architect of Chandigarh. And these foreign architects would have to take permission from the government to visit that heritage building, which is occupied by government officers and judges and other court, the executive, the judiciary, and the legislature are all in that area. Now you see behind me, I'm sitting at a public office right now. You see a mural image made by Le Corbusier in Chandigarh. And in this great architects understanding, all these architects from across the world want to study. Now they come to Chandigarh for one day. They can't take permission in the government office. So we were able to get that permission moved from the government office to the principal of the College of Architecture. Now a college is much easier to approach, and then online permission started. So today that streamlining the system has really improved. People are able to visit without any hassle. So I'm trying to give you examples of what the problem is is and what the solution can be. It's a long answer, but I answered it.
Sir, I hope the situation changes in this country. My next question is, in this competitive economy, with country's population increasing, but the job opportunities are not increasing, what is your opinion that can be done to improve the employment opportunities for the youth in this country, especially during this time?
Yeah, firstly, from your tone, sometimes I feel that maybe you and other young people, you feel that things are terrible and disastrous. No, it's not like that. We are in a country of very intelligent people, energetic people. We are a young country overall. The system is not very good, but it is getting better. And technology is helping. It is not a write-off. We will improve, and we have improved as in many ways. So I'm very hopeful about the future, first of all. Secondly, the employment prospects are going to come if the government incentivizes small enterprises. That means small startups, small units, small and medium industry, which is known as MSME, medium and small enterprises. Now, these can be cropping up all over the country. They are going to be employment generating. Every young person cannot work for Government of India or IIM or Infosys or top companies or institutes or government. So employment generation activities need to take place in small pockets outside the major cities. And people need to be weaned away from agriculture into more productive areas of work. Because 80%, not 80%, about 70% of our population is still involved in agriculture. Whereas the contribution to GDP of agriculture is only 20% or less. And we are wasting that population. So if we start diverting that into entrepreneurship, services, small manufacturing, cottage industry, then entrepreneurship will lead to greater employment. And we can't expect government to start recruiting more people. There are already too many people. We can't expect school and colleges to start recruiting more people because they're already overstaffed. So it has to be a market economy with small little units, medium-sized units, big units, giving jobs to the youth. That is the answer.
Sir, I hope the youth will understand and will start their own initiative to start their startups. My next question is, sir, there is an African proverb that states, when there are no enemies within, there can be no enemies outside. So, what are the practical ways to control our mind apart from meditation?
Well, it's a very good question. You see, my book is known as Finding Success Within, as was mentioned by Tanusha. My book is known as Finding Success Within. And in Hindi, it is called Safalta Ki Antarik Khoj. So you see, we have to find the success factors within us. And the mind is absolutely rightly said by you. Mind is where the fear, worry, and trouble, and restlessness and anxiety come from. Overthinking is our bane. Bane means that it is our drawback. What we have to do is to think constructively, cheerfully, and actively about success, about how we can conquer our fears and worries and shortcomings, and how we can make life better by starting to overcome our shortcomings by analyzing and introspecting. So if we can introspect every night, what are my shortcomings? Am I an angry person? Success outside will come if I beat my anger, if I conquer my angry tendency, if I conquer my tendency to worry, if I conquer my tendency to hesitate. I have to be decisive. I have to be not procrastinating, but I have to be energetic. So if I am doing that, I need to find my weaknesses and take them out, uproot them. How do we uproot our weaknesses? First, by acknowledging them. Secondly, by working on them. And you practice with small little groups or people, confident public speaking. Then you practice the fact that I won't lie to my parents or my so-and-so, because I normally lie about this. Let me eliminate this lying habit. I work on my character and my personality. And then I meditate also, I do yoga also. I get into creative activities, all round skills. Then my life starts improving. And the youth can definitely then become wonderful personalities.
Thank you, sir. Sir, I hope the youth will understand something from your answer to help themselves. My next question is, we have seen some really innovative projects that you have founded, like Suvichar Think Tank. Can you please tell us about your journey and suggest and the struggles you have encountered and how we can start something innovative like you?
Yeah, you can start innovative things by ideating differently, thinking differently, trying to be creative minded rather than being routinized in your thoughts. You must think differently and refreshingly. Plus, I think it's very important for you, for everybody, to get away from the humdrum or routine life once in a while. Go for a walk in the garden, in the jungle, in the park, wherever you can. And also spend a lot of time outdoors with fitness, not only in the gym, but outdoors is very good. Walking, running, playing sports. A lot of ideas come when we are fresh in body, mind, and soul. So that is one. You asked me about my ideas and projects. Yes, Other Samman was one of them. Respect for the elderly. We started in Panchkula. Yes, another one was the IT Park of Chandigarh, which came up when I was able to help set it up with other support from a lot of people who were involved. Then I would say you mentioned Suvichar, the think tank.
Suvichar.
General VP Malik is the chairman of Suvichar, and he is our former army chief. So I requested him that can we get together and make a think tank to help the youth and others. He said yes, we can. So that also we did. Then I'm also involved with something called Vibrant Advisory and Vibrant Forum, where we have CEOs, we have speakers, we have exchange of ideas and networking. I'm also involved with something called Vivek IAS Career Academy, which I mentioned, which is an academy which I mentor. So I do 5 or 6 things after my VRS voluntary retirement, and I'm very happy with my life. But the main thing I do is to motivate and inspire through my sessions, videos, and talks like this with you. So this is what I feel I need to do more of, and write books, more creative books. And everybody who needs to think differently and ideate can be successful if they are determined to do so.
So that was very helpful and it will be useful for the youth. So, one last question. Which three changes you wish should be made in India for a better future?
Yeah, it's a very good
Yeah,
question. Firstly, I think we need to be passionate and proud of our country. We cannot keep on criticizing. So the culture of criticism needs to reduce. We cannot be, it's not the government or the politics. You leave the politics aside, the government aside. We should not denigrate our country. Our athletes have gone to the Olympics and everybody's saying, oh, kuch nahi hai, ye nahi hai, wo nahi hai. I mean, for 4 years, nobody worries. The athlete is working hard, trying his best, her best, despite whatever system is there. And now they will get some medals, they won't get others. So it happens like that. Don't be critical of our country. That's one thing. The culture of criticism has to go away. Number two, we have to be streamlining the system. We need to wean away a lot of government officials who are not required in the government. And when they retire, we don't need to recruit new ones in the place because it's oversized. We need to make it more efficient, more technology friendly. Everything should be on our apps or on our phones or on our whatever. We shouldn't have to waste time in government procedures. Number three, we need to take care of our young and our old in the country. The older generation needs care and love. Many people are disintegrating, families are disintegrating. They're not looking after their elderly people. I think that is very important. And the young, they must be encouraged. They must be encouraged to read, to be passionate and as well as constructive, as well as honest personalities. And I think that will lead to a great country going ahead. And I can see the signs. And lastly, we also need to develop leadership qualities. Leadership qualities are extremely important in the youth. And when they become the leaders of tomorrow, not only political leaders, corporate leaders, government leaders, bureaucratic leaders, and sports leaders, art leaders, they need to have those qualities. So listen to people like me and others and try to imbibe whatever we are trying to share.
Thank you very much, sir. Well, that's all for me. Is there any question from the audience? Tanusha, can you please ask question on behalf of the audience if they have any?
Yeah, sure. So, there is a question from Yashvi Prajapati. What all powers does an IAS hold in his life? And how does it feel as an IAS officer to contribute to our country?
Yeah, so an IAS officer has a lot of powers wherever he or she is posted. Those powers they come in handy because if you are DC or director of the department, then you have powers to exercise. You have administrative powers, you have financial powers, you have powers to carry out change for society, and a lot of initiatives can be taken in the IAS. And the second part of what can you do for society, a lot can be. You can change the public delivery system. You can change the mindset of the government officials. You can improve and encourage the officials to make changes in their departments. You can encourage the whole community and the city and the district or wherever you are to adopt a certain campaign like I mentioned, other Samman, respect the elderly. So the government officers, IAS officers can take the lead in such social causes also and give up discrimination of any kind. And also we carried out a campaign in some districts of Haryana. I was also DC of one district that we should have more girl children. We are encouraging the girl child. So IAS officers can do anything such like that with energy, with enthusiasm, definitely, or any other civil services officer can also do.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for your views. Sir, so the next question is from Achal. As a teenager, how can we deal with FOMO, that is fear of missing out, which is really issue for today's teenagers?
Yeah. In the interest of time, I think I'll take only one question more after this, if there is. FOMO is fear of missing out, which is a modern concept. So basically, I think you should not have fear of missing out because when you are in your zone, you are doing what you love, and you are missing out on something that other people have started doing. I don't think it's something that should affect you because social media makes us feel that FOMO fear. That so and so is into Instagramming and I'm not able to capitalize on my so and so has so many followers and is posting this, I'm not doing it. So and so activity took place in my town and I couldn't be there. It doesn't matter. You will have your opportunity. You keep working steadfastly and hard. Be creative, be sincere, be dedicated, and you will succeed. Don't worry.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. The next question is from Nihit Singhal. How to deal with corruption these days, prevailing at higher administrative level? So, what are your views and suggestions to deal with them?
You're talking about corruption?
Yes, sir. Corruption at higher level.
Got it, got it. I missed that word because you said it slowly. Now, the point is that corruption can take place at all levels, higher, lower, middle levels. The leadership needs to speak confidently about eradicating corruption and take steps and take action. When we find people being taken action against, those who are into misconduct or appropriation, corruption, then they will be an example for others who are trying to do the same. When no action is taken, then how can they appear? How can the corruption menace be curbed? Let me tell you that many officers in the government or even higher levels or middle level are not corrupt. They just appear to be in that system. And therefore, everybody thinks that everybody is corrupt. Even in the police or any other department, I've seen many honest officers. Now, if there are corrupt people, they need to be ignored. They need to be isolated. They need to be weaned away and weeded out. And definitely action needs to be taken. But those who are honest, they need to be encouraged. If we encourage honesty, then corruption will reduce. That is the best way.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for your inspiring
Thank you.
views on such a
I
crucial topic like corruption.
Yeah, I have a deadline, so I'm thankful to you for your questions, and I'm really very impressed with the interview that you conducted. So well done, both of you.
Thank you, sir.
So, thank you so much, sir, for taking out your precious time and illuminating our discussion. It was really good to hear such a great person like you and to learn from your experiences.
Thank
There
you.
was
I would
such,
say to all of
such a
you, be in touch with me. Be in touch with me on social media, Instagram, LinkedIn, wherever you want, and watch my videos and be connected. And once again, thanking both of you and Swachhta organization. Yes, you were saying something?
Swachhta Jagran Samiti team salutes you and thank you so much for taking time for us. We learned a lot of things from you, and I hope the audience also enjoyed. So we are ending this session with your permission here. If you still have any, if
Thank
audience
you
still
very
have
much.
any, they can WhatsApp us, and we'll take them into consideration. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you all. Stay in touch and we will update you about our next session. Stay safe, take care, and thank you.
Thank you.